Hi guys, TOMAHAWK here. When people ask me how they should train if they need to use a Tomahawk for defensive purposes, I always advise them to start with a plastic trainer, either the inexpensive cold steel ones or the better quality ones from Volpace Training. Um, and obviously one is a safety factor. If you go to hit a target and miss, you know, going into your body with almost half-inch thick dull piece of lightweight plastic is going to be a lot safer than hitting yourself with a sharp steel, real Tomahawk. The other is wear and tear on your equipment. You're not so much going to, wear down the cutting edge that quickly, and you can resharpen it. But even things like hitting with the hammer pole, obviously going to want your mask on for this, the sheath. But these lightweight nylon sheaths, believe it or not, just the inertia of that lightweight sheath as you're hitting something like a training target will actually cause the cutting edge to cut down into the threads that hold the sheath together. I have a cold steel Trailhawk that I use a lot for camping, and just acting and knocking tent pegs into the ground was enough to cut the threads on this. I own two of those, and one of them has the threads, completely gone here. It doesn't function as a mask anymore. So something to keep in mind. So the two trainers I have here is one is a cold steel trench hawk. I just spray painted the head to make it a little more visible on camera. The other is the one, this is a cut down axe head cane from Cold Steel, and it's cut it down to the length of my camping Tomahawks. And it works very well for that capacity. I take off the spike a bit because the camping hawks I have, I don't use the spike type of hawk for camping. They just have some type of hammer pole on the back. And these work very well. They hold up well, they're lightweight. You can adjust the length if you have a longer handle. And I've been using these, I enjoy these. Okay, so let's get to work on technique. Okay, I start my training on the camping Tomahawks, presupposing that they have a mask on, they're in your belt. So if you get attacked on the trail by some knuckleheads, we've actually had people get attacked and robbed, at least in parks, especially more years ago before they opened up the national parks to concealed carry permit holders. But they would get robbed in the parks, figuring, oh, these guys can't carry a firearm in there, and the knuckleheads would come in with a big blade of some type and rob them. So anyway, what I would do is, let me show you on this side with the real thing. I presuppose you have it in the mask, it's in your belt, so you're going to draw and come up with the pole side first, since it's not covered by the mask, and then fight from there. So let's show you on this side with the trainer. So as you draw, you spin the blade, the head, and then I like the long-handled hawks in a two-hand grip. Gives it a little more control. But you can just easily draw this, get this into your hand and spin it, and get the hammer pole if you want to do it one-handed. I prefer the two-hand draw. It's more secure, but. So you have this in your hand. We're going to start off with the pole side first. And the basic drill I teach everyone is diagonal down, 1 and 2, and then a vertical. That's kind of our 1, 2, 3 combination with these. So you draw pole side first, diagonal, diagonal, vertical, since it's a quick recovery. And the targets on this is collarbone, collarbone, head. You're trying to knock the guy out or disable one of his arms so you can get distance to back off, right? Now, if, let's suppose you were able to get the mask off, or for some reason you have the mask, the axe head, the sharp face is exposed, then something I want you to think about that really it helps to work on a tire or some type of training tool of actual hitting, and something where you could get your axe stuck in the target. So I want you to think about this kind of sequence. You're hitting with just the top head, top surface of the top half of the cutting edge, so you can go fluidly through the target, right? The other thing I want you to do is what happens if I get stuck, and stuck can be two flavors. It can be stuck and I can easily take it out, or it can be stuck and difficult to take out. So if it's, say, on this one, I'll do a lot on top where I get the top caught. So I have fluid strikes, and then I have, oh, I got caught. So automatically work into broken strikes. Now I got caught in the belly. Push that out, and then try to give a covering hit on the way out. So what's nice about tires, I just discovered just practicing it, is you have kind of three surface areas. One where you can slide off easily, and this is as if you were just cutting with the top half of the edge. Like you're going for that collarbone and you just rip through, and you're across the top of the bones. You're not embedding it in his bones. The other is if you get too deep and you get hooked on the shoulder, then you want to pull that off and get, practice your broken strikes, right? Before you get it back into fluid. The other is what happens if you get stuck inside the tire, like this. Then you want to see, okay, I'm going to try to pull out, but if I can't, I want to get used to the idea of, sliding that left hand up and pulling out. That's easier and more natural to do with a two-hand axe, because you're going to be chopping like that, when you're taking down a tree very commonly, right? But you have to get used to it. And here, okay, no problem. But if you do that with a one-hand axe, you get used to sliding, picking that up, and then fighting from here to get yourself distance to get back. So something to think about with a training Tomahawk on a tire stack. I really like these axe head canes as a trainer for the larger two-handed axes. And what that gives you is the ability to, obviously not only hook and hit, but to hook and move and capture, a limb or a shield, if you're reenacting or whatnot. But it brings up a very good point, being the point on the beard. I prefer these type of hooking motions, or at least I feel safer in these hooking motions with a two-handed axe, something with a real long handle. When you do that with when you hook with a small tomahawk, you're very often you're bringing his blade closer to your hand, where it seems to me, let me put this back, it seems to me much safer to do that type of technique of pulling and hooking with a two-handed axe. So another training tool you may want to think about.